Welcome to the live, everybody. Welcome to the live. Hope you guys are all having a great day. What we're going to be covering today is the activation of sleeper cells in our country, and I'm going to be notifying and making more people aware of what's going on in the situation. So if you guys aren't aware, make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to share the live and get more people in here so we could get more people notified and made aware of the current scenario and situations going on with the sleeper cells in our country. Okay, it's very important and very essential to notify everyone about. If you guys don't know what sleeper cells are, they're essentially people who are acting for another organization secretly planted behind enemy lines until they're ready to be activated. Now the sleeper cells have been activated, and we have situations taking place in our country, such as terrorist attacks and recently just bad events going on that you guys need to be made aware of and make sure you're prepping for. Make sure you're practicing basic preparedness, as in general purpose preparedness. Make sure I can see this chat. But yeah, if you guys aren't aware what's going on, we've recently had multiple terrorist attacks within our country. Sleeper cells have been activated. A recent CIA analyst, going by the name Sarah Adams, recently gave us warnings on the Sean Ryan show, talking about this on the podcast, about an hour and a half to 2 hours long, talking about exactly what was going to take place a week and a half to 2 weeks before this taking place. So if you guys don't know who she is, you guys should definitely do some research on that. You'll find out a lot of important information to what has recently taken place in the last 48 hours in our country. But essentially, we've had some terrorist events, some terrorist attacks, and the sleeper cells that I've been worried about for the last 5 years coming through our border have been activated. So, yeah, you guys should definitely be on standby if you're a prepared citizen, or if you consider yourself somebody who considers preparedness of importance. You should definitely be gearing yourself into the high end of preparedness. Yeah, right now. How do we know I'm not a sleeper cell? I guess you could say that. I mean, I know I'm not a sleeper cell. I'm just an American citizen, man. I'm here trying to warn other American citizens and make more people aware of what's going on. What it was is, it was, so far it's being said that one of them was ex special forces, and the other one, I don't know if he was active duty or whatever the case may be, but both of them were ex military, or have a military background. And both of the attacks were done by military. I want to see what this comment says, but I can't translate it. Anybody know how to read Arabic? If that's Arabic, I think it is Arabic. I'm not military, man. I'm just a prepared citizen. Yeah, I'm just a prepared citizen, so I can't take that. I can't take those compliments. But what I'm just trying to notify more people in our country about what's going on. Yeah, I mean, it was a Happy New Year's until it took place on New Year's Day. I mean, still Happy New Year's to the rest of you guys. I hope you guys all have a great year moving forward. But you guys should definitely make sure you're being prepared and practicing preparedness. I don't even know who Muhammad is, man. I don't pay attention to any other religion, bro. Yeah, nah. Uh, this is just some kit I'm wearing, man. I'm just wearing a carrier. I just got some mags, tourniquet, and IFAK. I also got my chest rig right here. I was gonna showcase that has some comms on it, some more medical stuff like that, more sustainment on it. That's cool, man. I mean, you could definitely, if you guys, wherever you're at, if you don't have firearms, if you're in another country, you could still practice preparedness. It's unfortunate that you can't have access to firearms, but there's still ways you could further your preparedness journey, I guess. Your prepping, get more advanced in that by getting more food and water, learning more survival skills such as bushcrafting and things like that. Chuckle, I don't know what you're talking about, man, but if I don't know why you want to keep talking about cannibalism. It's kind of sus, man. But Yeah, basically what we're talking about, guys, is I'm trying to notify more people about what's going on in our country. We've recently had sleeper cells activated. There's been recent terrorist attacks. One happened in New Orleans on New Year's night, and then one happened at the Trump Tower. Someone exploded a Tesla truck. Both guys are known to be ex-military, and we just don't actually know what's going to be taking place in our country moving forward. So I think you guys should really advance your prepping and take it more seriously at this current moment. If you guys could do me a favor and make sure to like this live so we could spread the word out to more people and make more people aware of what's going on in the country, it'd be greatly appreciated as well. He said he can't own a machine gun and rocket launcher. I mean, I don't think most Americans can either. But yeah, I don't care about P. Diddy, man. I'm not here to talk about any Hollywood stuff. We have more important stuff going on right now. There's recent American lives lost, and over 15 people were killed, and 35 to 40 more injured. Yeah. No, man, I never claimed to be a soldier. I'm a prepared citizen. I'm not a soldier. I'm not military whatsoever. I'm just notifying the public of what's going on. If you do research on this, you could find about what happened in New Orleans and at the Trump Tower, the recent explosion. Yeah, also, if you search Sarah Adams, she's a CIA analyst. She recently talked about what was going to take place about a week and a half to 2 weeks before this happened. So this is definitely a credible threat. You guys should definitely pay attention to what I'm saying. I'm not just trying to hype anybody up. Antifa. That's cool, man. These are one second. No, but if you guys haven't already started like getting into prepping and doing things like storing away food and water, I definitely think you should. My goal here on my channel really is originally to talk about preparedness. So right now I'm talking about this because this is an important world event that has taken place, or at least in the U.S. So I think a lot of American citizens should be notified and made aware as much as possible. But on a daily, regardless of what's taking place, you should just be practicing your everyday preparedness, learning things such as bushcraft, water procurement, ways to store food for long-term storage, just things like that. That's essentially what I talk about here. I like to do rucks as well and practice my physical fitness and showcase it to you guys. Like I'll do live streams while we're on hikes and stuff. That's what's up, Sean. Yeah. Mr. Ripped Van. I don't get what you're saying, man. I think you're like I think you're speaking in code and I'm not picking it up. I think you're saying sticks, but you mean firearms. If that's the case, I can't help you get anything because that's not how this works on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could check out your local gun shops. These are crazy. Like, what are you, this? Uh, he said, "What?" Yeah, I'm relaying the information, man. Yeah, yeah, gotta respect. I love the old Vietnam music. Yeah, my grandpa was a Vietnam vet, so yeah, I got the platoon poster right here too. You look like what? But no, you guys should definitely practice your preparedness. Consider it of utmost importance. That with the situations that are taking place in our country, you guys really need to consider it as something that you're taking part in. He said he's fake army, bro. I never claimed to be military, but I mean, if that's what you want to go with, I'm just a prepared citizen, making more people notified of what's going on, man. Nah, but you guys should definitely be taking your preparedness of utmost importance. If you guys aren't already preparing for any possible scenarios that could take place, if you're only paying attention because something chaotic has happened or if you've seen something on the news, you're definitely doing it wrong. You need to be preparing for everyday life, everyday scenarios, and just taking it as like a lifestyle, doing something that you practice often. That's good, man. Yeah, I know a lot of natives learn a lot of old skills. Some of the times, I mean, depending on who you were raised by and who you grew up around, but a lot of them definitely know some of those old ways of survival. There's no stolen valor here, man. We're just prepared citizens talking about situations that have taken place in the country as of recent. My goal is to notify more people here what's taken place and to help them be made aware so they could at least defend themselves and their family if something was to take place near them. Like, if you guys don't already carry medical, you should definitely be carrying medical with you every single day. And make sure you know how to use the medical. Don't just buy medical IFACs and not know how to use them. Make sure you train with them, learn how to use them, and become an asset rather than a liability to the people around you and yourself. Yeah. All I could say, guys, is I would stay away from large, crowded areas. Like, there's going to be a Mardi Gras and a Super Bowl in New Orleans, I'm hearing. I would not go there. I normally wouldn't go there anyways because I already have this same gut feeling because of the things that take place. But especially what's going on right now, it seems like terrorists are waiting for crowded areas to be occupied. So I would just be made. I would make sure you're aware. Yeah, appreciate it, Curtis. At least you get what I'm saying, man. He said, looking like those LA. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say it's necessarily time to put your family all in body armor, um, unless you guys are in like a bug out scenario or hunkering down, then maybe yeah. But I would just take your preparedness as more important as of current. What's exactly going on right now? So, if you guys aren't aware of what's taking place, what's going on right now, in the last 48 hours, there were multiple terrorist attacks on U.S. soil, one in New Orleans and one in front of the Trump Tower. 15 people were killed in New Orleans and 35 to 40 more injured. So, it's definitely a credible threat. We have sleeper cells that are being activated across our country and being given orders. The dude was also found with more IEDs in the truck, and he shot at the police once he crashed his truck. Thankfully, they took him down on the scene, but yeah, he said ban electric trucks. Yeah, all I could say, man, is make sure you guys are practicing your preparedness. Yeah, basically, there's been a sleeper cell activation recently. You guys been warned about this. There's been a lot of warnings before this has happened. And recently, a CIA analyst by the name Sarah Adams has talked about this on the Sean Ryan show in a podcast, notifying everyone about a week and a half to 2 weeks before. Um, so, yeah. What is a sleeper cell? A sleeper cell is essentially someone who's working for an organization who's being secretly planted behind enemy lines to uh, make sure a job is being done. I don't know. That's the simplest way to put it. That's cool, man. Um, you don't understand what you're saying. Yeah, I show travel, man. You said you want to report me for notifying people because you're like bothered by my appearance. That's cool. I'm you're not somebody that I need to notify anyway, so it's whatever. I'll just put you in a timeout. Yeah. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'm pretty sure I could take Justin Bieber. Yeah. This fool. No, basically, what we're talking about, guys, is the recent events that have taken place given the terror attacks in the last 48 hours. There were terror attacks in New Orleans and one that taken place in front of the Trump Tower. I don't know if anyone was injured. I'm not completely sure on that, but both guys were ex-military, and it just seems like a very fishy situation, to put it shortly. Uh, you guys should just be taking your preparedness very in serious. It's very important right now. It's there's a lot of things that could be taking place. Both from Bragg. Mm. It's not really full kit, but you got a little bit of kit on you. MK Ultra. I mean, who knows what it could be? Anything is possible, man. All I know is the CIA gave a warning out about this. Yeah, you guys should definitely be making sure you keep your EDC within arm's reach. Keep it on you at all times if you can, and make sure you're carrying medical with you at all times, just in case you could save another life, yours or a loved one. Make sure you're learning how to use that medical as well. What was I saying? Oh, so we were talking about the recent terror attacks that happened in New Orleans, and an explosion that happened in front of the Trump Tower. And we're just making the public more aware if they're not already made aware, and notifying them that they should be taking their preparedness very seriously at this current moment. I actually don't play any games, man. That sounds funny, like the way I said it. I don't play any games. No, I haven't played COD in a while, man. I'm just trying to notify people. I mean, I know it sounds like a joke and it sounds like fear monger, but you guys really need to take this seriously. Things could happen, and things could, like, you could wake up and it could be a completely different world that you live in, or you could just have a personal SHTF scenario where you currently live. So, who knows what could happen around you? Just make sure you guys are prepared, okay? Yeah, I mean, like, people want to take it as a joke and like make fun of it, but it's really not a game. Like what could take place? He said, "Are you Navy SEAL Green Beret?" uh, and how do you reckon we prepare? Just practice your basic preparedness. Make sure you have stored food and water. Make sure you have ways to procure more food and water. Make sure you learn about basic bushcrafting and survival skills, stuff like that. Yeah. I don't think a soldier would wear a flannel, man. I'm just wearing a flannel with a plate carrier. I don't think you've heard of like the definition of prepared citizens, or like know what our Constitution is wording when it talks about the Second Amendment. You guys sound like some boots, to keep it real. Uh, it's not bad, rooftop. Yeah, exactly, COVID. Exactly. Yeah, people just don't like to pay attention to what's important and the facts, but it's okay. He said you're so stolen, dollar. Oh, fuck. Why do you use like these? You're like using chronically online internet terms, bro. That's crazy. All right. Ugh. Yeah, cause you guys are some boots. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'd rather sound whitewash, honestly, man. I don't really. I am. Yeah. I'm not gonna get into that because I don't need to get people all snowflaked out and fucking hurt panties in a bunch. But yeah, no, I'd rather sound whitewashed. I don't really appreciate nothing of black culture. It's a bunch of low vibrational stuff, in my opinion. But that's my personal opinion. Now people are gonna get on me saying he's racist. uh, you said people die behind stuff I'm wearing. Okay, man. Uh, uh, he said, and his racism came out. No, I'm not racist, man. I'm black myself. I just don't support black culture because what they try to portray. They try to say like bullshit about things like it's a lot of low vibrational stuff that I don't support. I don't have anything against black people. I'm black myself. I got a lot of family that's black, but I don't support like the culture that's portrayed to be like cool. He said he's alive. That's cool, man. It's basically like, how do we get into this tangent? I don't know. Like, everyone's gonna live their life how they want to live it. I just decide to not be part of it, essentially. I'm not rebellious to my culture. I'm just my own person. I don't have to listen to certain music that my culture says is what I should be into. It's like there's some black men that are afraid to listen to rock music because they think it's going to look weird or whatever is going to be done to their image. Like, it's stupid. Basically, though, all we're talking about, regardless of this race bullshit that got started in the chat, we're talking about preparedness for everyday citizens and trying to help gear more Americans being made aware and being prepared and things like that. That's funny. See, that's what I mean. Like, if you have your own opinion, black people will try to tell you you're not black. That's crazy. That's crazy. Sleeper cells activated. Yeah, we're talking about what's recently happened in New Orleans, man. The recent events. If you guys are not aware, you guys should be aware. There's recent events that have taken place. Recent terror attacks. There were 15 people killed and over 35 or 40 more injured. There was also an explosion that happened in front of the Trump Tower by a Tesla truck that was exploded. So, yeah. Yeah, man. Am I strapped? Defines what you would say. Not as a current. I mean, I got it right here, but yeah. I can't show it on the live because YouTube is a bunch of snowflakes. You said Messi or Ronaldo? I don't know, man. I'm not into soccer. I'm more of an MMA fan, but yeah. Yeah. Basically, what we're talking about, guys, is preparedness for the everyday citizen, though. You guys, if you guys don't know what preparedness is or know what has taken place, you guys should really do your research and look up what has taken place, because this could happen in your neighborhood. This could happen locally. Anything. Like, there's a bunch of people. All right, Alex Pereira, or I'm gonna have to go with Alex, man. I like his fighting style, but personally, I don't really watch a lot of heavyweights. I watch more like middleweight and welterweights. Why is it happening, H. Blau? If you know, since you know. You got the answers, man. What does that mean, bro? He said dude's trying to cosplay being white. What does that even mean? Alex used to be a middleweight. He moved up to heavyweight, though. Alex Pereira is not middleweight no more. Oh yeah, you guys should definitely get anti-EMP equipment, EMP protective bags. Yeah, yeah, that's funny. But no, you guys should definitely get some. I recently was talking about. I was gonna make a video about it on the YouTube channel, but I made some TikToks about it as well. You guys should get some EMP protection. LARPing a Marine. Imagine thinking LARPing a Marine and you would wear a multicam. This isn't even like, I mean, I guess you could call it LARPing, but like, it's not really like role playing or trying to play like anything, because it's just a carrier, man. I mean, you could go buy these at your local sportsman's. He's LARPing being white. You're right, man. I'm definitely LARPing being white. Yeah, for sure. You go out in public like that? Nah, man. If anything, I'd wear a concealed vest. I don't, at least not in today's scenario. Current events where I'm at in my local area, I don't need to go out like this. I don't think it would be a good idea. I think you already knew that, though. You said want to look like an infantryman. You want to sound like a bootlicker, bro. I don't think you support the Constitution and citizens exercising their Second Amendment right, because this has nothing to do with infantrymen. You're making it about the military because you see a carrier. That's literally what's going on. So yeah, nah. If you were paying attention, man, you would focus on your preparedness, and you would instead of getting on me, you would tell your family about the events taking place and try to get your household in order and practice preparedness. How do you not know? I mean, because I don't pay attention to people who say free Palestine. That's why, man. Yeah, that's how I don't know. One second. Sleeper cells are people who are working for an organization who have been activated to see out a mission behind enemy lines. Yeah. Why are all these ex-military crashing out? Because they get mad sometimes. It's weird. I either get ex-military guys who really support me or ones that just absolutely hate me. But it is what it is. I mean, it's the internet. You're gonna get people that get their panties in a bunch. This has nothing to do with your time that you served or any valor or anything like that, though. You're looking at a citizen in a plate carrier talking about preparedness for other citizens. So I don't know why you would trip. What's up, Monkey? Really thinks he did something. Uh, yeah. No, I have a playlist. It's called Music from Vietnam. I don't know. I like these old songs. It's sad that you believe it's fear mongering, man. But if you did any research, you would actually know. Yeah. Yeah, nah. I'm well aware, Brandy. People just don't really know what they're claiming. They don't have any like merit behind their claim. There's nothing supporting it, so it's just spewing bullshit. But it's okay. Yeah, the emergency food buckets you could get that will last 30 years plus are very good to have. Like these ones right here. I don't know if you read those, but these ones last really long. There's other ones you could get from different companies as well. But instead of buying those to start off, I would build your road. You guys should definitely consider it as something that's on the priority list. Even if you're just dropping 20 bucks on an extra bag of rice, it could do something for you. Make sure you're learning some medical too. If you don't know medical and ways to stop massive bleeding, arterial bleeds, you guys should learn that. Yeah, but anyways, you guys should have enough kit and some type of gear that you could sustain yourself for at least 72 hours at a minimum, and then try to further that as you go on. In your house, you should have enough items to secure you and sustain you for at least 6 months to a year. But what I'm talking about, like in a go bag, a bug out bag, or get home bag, you should have enough items to sustain you for at least 72 hours at a minimum. Yes, get tourniquets, but make sure you're getting tourniquets from reputable sources. Only get them from North American Rescue or people that are trusted. Don't buy your tourniquets from Amazon. It's quite useless and you could get scammed. I'm already knowing, man. Yeah, a lot of people, I'm sure already. But yeah, the only thing cheap tourniquets work for is training, up until they break. But they're gonna break. The windlass will definitely snap on you. Yeah, yeah, just like Black Air Force. Yeah, but yeah, guys, make sure you guys get some good medical gear. I'll show you right here. This is just a little one I keep around, but this one right here, I got a tourniquet in here. I got a marker to mark the tourniquet for the time to know when I put it on. I got some rolled gauze to use if I need to wipe away some blood or for a smaller scrape or wound. And then I got 2 wound packing gauze. I got some combat gauze and then a wound packing gauze from North American Rescue. Inside here, behind the tourniquet, we also got some chest seals as well as some pressure dressings behind the wound packing gauze. And then make sure you keep some trauma shears. But basically, you're not fighting anyone, man, because you're over here saying stupid shit. So your mind doesn't work enough to comprehend what I'm talking about. But we're talking about preparedness for the everyday citizen. No, yeah, I keep some Band-Aids in there. I got a little boo-boo kit, but I don't really prefer Band-Aids. I just prefer, like, gauze and tape. Band-Aids, I've noticed, will just make a wound stay moist. But if it's, like, an actual wound, a Band-Aid's useless for. But a little cut, I still prefer, like, a little bit of gauze and tape. But right here in this little, that little bag right there, it's just a little boo-boo kit with some smaller rolled gauze, some Band-Aids, things like that, 2 tubes of tape. I kind of customized this to my own liking after I got it. Yeah, you should definitely, if you guys don't already have some medications that could be useful for a SHTF scenario or just as a prepared citizen, you should definitely get them. Make sure you guys have some good antibiotics on standby. If you could have some pain meds as well, though I'm not giving any legal advice. Yeah, as well as potassium iodide tablets. Just make sure you know the dosage and how often you should take them because those can be bad for you if you dose them improperly. Yeah, right here, or this is another IFAC right here. So this is another med kit. So this IFAC is from North American Rescue. The other one's from Premier Body Armor. And then I got another one from North American Rescue. But these are really good kits right here. You could get this one for like 70 to 80 bucks. It depends on what kit you buy though. If you get the one with the needle decompression, then it costs a little bit more and you got to sign on it. But it just all depends if you get combat gauze or not and all that. But you can get these very affordably. But basically what I'm talking about, guys, is preparedness for the everyday citizen. If you guys aren't already practicing your preparedness, if you live in America and you aren't aware of the recent events that have taken place, we've recently had multiple terrorist attacks that have taken place on U.S. soil. We were giving warnings a week and a half to 2 weeks before this by a CIA analyst named Sarah Adams on the Sean Ryan show. She made about a 1 hour to 2 hour video talking about this. So you guys really need to take this as a credible threat. 15 people died and 35 more were injured. And we just have a lot of stuff going on in this country that's uncertain right now involving these sleeper cells. So I'm just trying to make sure you guys are aware, along with talking about preparedness whenever we can. I got a lot of other prepping videos available on the channel if you guys want to check those out. But, yeah. Let me see. Can I translate these? No, I can't. Okay. Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. I'll show. This is another. I was gonna show this on a different live, but right here is another kit right here. So this is a North American Rescue Eagle IFAC. So this one has a tourniquet in it. It basically has all the same stuff that this one does. It's just made with a slightly different footprint, but the bag is kind of like the same shape essentially, and they just open up like this. You just pull that clip and you tear it off. I'm not gonna open it because it's like closed with a lot of pressure right now. I have to squeeze it together. But yeah, this is just a little chest rig build. No, I'm not selling gear. I'm just talking about some medical gear that I think people should have, man. I mean, I got some gear that you could buy from my storefront if you want to check it out on my bio. Some of the stuff I got in here, like I got these pouches on my storefront, these little side mag pouches. These are from Blue Force Gear. You could buy those on the storefront. Hey, if any of you guys are watching, have any of you guys any of you guys already subscribed or have been subscribed to the channel? I'm curious. If anybody's on here that is part of the channel or enjoying the live so far, I might give one of you guys moderator features. Do those medical ones have antibiotics in it? No, they don't, but you could pack them somewhere in there. That stuff's not really, that stuff's just meant to stop a massive bleed. It's more of a trauma blowout kit. The antibiotics would be more for later once you get to base camp or somebody with higher care. You've been subscribed for a long time. Oh, that's nice to hear, Linda. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to moderate something, but there's too many comments coming in the chat for me to moderate them. Appreciate it, Melody. It's surprising. Sometimes it surprises me, like the crowd we have watching. But I do some pretty useful prepping content. So are any of you guys interested in being a moderator? If so, all right, Linda, I'm gonna put you as moderator for temporarily, so you could start controlling some of those comments. All right. So Linda, I made you moderator so you could take hold of some of the comments you see. I appreciate it if you don't mind. But yeah, guys, basically what we're talking about is prepping and preparedness for the everyday citizen. I'm trying to notify more people about the concerns and the warnings of what's going on in our country and why it's important for you to consider prepping as something that matters. Yeah, basically, yeah, recently what happened, guys, if you aren't aware of the events that have taken place, there was recently an explosion in front of the Trump Tower in Vegas. The dude was known to be former special forces. And then there was a recent terrorist attack that also happened in New Orleans where 15 people were killed and 35 other people were injured. Where are sleeper cells from? The sleeper cells could be from anywhere, man. They could be from China, Russia, the Middle East, who knows, but they're here and they're being activated. So you guys should be made aware and you guys should take action. That's good to hear, Terry. Thank you for your service, man. Yeah, I'm just talking about preparedness for the everyday citizens, trying to help gear them into being prepared citizens here. Yeah, essentially, yeah, you're pretty right, Black Force. So what I think you guys should do is practice your preparedness, practice learning ways to implement your medical gear and apply it in a dire need situation, learn how to use it. Make sure you guys learn the basics such as water procurement, long-term food storage, things like that, ways to start a fire with minimal equipment. I got a bunch of videos explaining these in short form content and in more long form content, such as ammo stockpile videos talking about prepping and things alike, covering the mindset and deep diving into different aspects of prepping. But yeah. Yeah. No, I appreciate it. Do something different. Yeah, it's just it's the sad reality of the state of the internet. People like to troll and they want to get a reaction rather than actually paying attention to what may matter and what's right in front of them. But it's okay. It's nothing to be worried about. I mean, I'm used to it. It's what happens when you pump out content. All right, goodbye, H. Blau, or however you say your name. I put you in 30 minutes. So if you want to come back, you could come back a different time. Appreciate that, man. But nah, basically, you guys, what I'm talking about is the recent events that have taken place and trying to help notify you guys about it and give you, like, plant a seed in your brain on why you should advance your preparedness and your everyday preparedness and being more of a prepared citizen and an asset to your community rather than a liability. Macton Lady Game On, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, basically that's what we're talking about, guys. I think it's very important. If you guys don't know who Sarah Adams is or the Sean Ryan Show, it's a podcast on YouTube. Recently, Sean Ryan did a podcast with Sarah Adams. She's a CIA analyst, and she recently talked about the events that had taken place on New Year's Day. She warned us about a week and a half to 2 weeks before, saying that this was going to happen, saying that there's warnings from terrorist threats outside of the U.S. of potential sleeper cells acting. And now we've had the sleeper cells act and yeah, it's taken place. You guys really need to just consider it as something that matters. If you do your research, you'll see what is actually happening. Thank you, Elizabeth. Hi, welcome to the stream. Yeah. Also a fellow gun tuber. That's cool, man. Yeah, if you check out my channel or something or comment on it, I'll check out some of your videos. Maybe we could collab in the future sometimes. Always good to meet other gun tubers. I recently, I recently made a video talking about some gun tubers though, but that'll probably be cool to watch for you. I think you'll find it interesting. You said you missed what happened? Okay, Jun. So everybody, Jun is new. We're going to explain to him what happened. So what recently happened in the country, in the U.S., is there was 2 terrorist attacks taking place, both by ex-military. One of them killed 15 and injured 35 more. This happened in New Orleans. A guy ran through a crowd with the truck waving an ISIS flag. He then got out of his car and shot at the police. Then the police returned fire, then by executing him. That's how that situation ended. But there was also an explosion at the Trump Tower by a random Tesla car, Tesla truck to be exact, that just pulled up and exploded 15 seconds after it parked right in front of the tower. It parked right in front of the building, in front of the glass doors by the valet parking area. Dump pouches could be good. Dump pouches could be good. I'm not against them. It just depends on your use and what you need them for. If you have space for one, it's not bad. They like Blue Force Gear, the same company that makes this mag pouch right here. It's like this mag pouch is a little thin, like a elastic pouch. But the company that makes this, they make dump pouches that are pretty small. So. What am I implying? I'm talking about the recent attacks that happened in America. I am a bot. I don't know, man. A lot of people have been talking about that word for a long time. It could or it could not happen. I don't necessarily think it's going to, but who knows what may ever take place in this country. That's why I say be prepared. Prepare for the worst. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst, essentially. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you guys didn't see what happened after COVID-19 and you're not prepping, like after COVID-19, a lot of people should have already started prepping. And if that didn't like give you a reason to kickstart, then I don't know what would give you a reason. 1 second, guys. Yeah, after COVID, it became very obvious to a larger majority of the public the importance of prepping. What do I think their motive was? To instill fear in the public. And yeah, probably send a message and instill some fear. And to harm people. Who is the enemy? That's still yet to be figured out, man. So far, it's looking like they're part of a terrorist organization, though. What brand is my tourniquet? I only recommend North American Rescue products, guys. So if you're getting any medical gear for SHTF preparedness or just preparedness for everyday life to have medical gear just in case of a car accident or an accidental injury, make sure you're buying North American Rescue products or only from reputable sources who source their products from North American Rescue. This whole IFAC was purchased from North American Rescue, and all the components within inside are from NAR, or North American Rescue. But yeah, make sure you're getting Gen 7 cat tourniquets. Don't buy them from Amazon. Only buy them from reputable sources. So Refuge Medical, Premier Body Armor, North American Rescue. There's a few more. T-Rex Arms, places like that. Venture Surplus. There's a lot of people who sell valuable medical, but just make sure you know the reputable dealers, okay? Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Linda. It's definitely, they're definitely using fear tactics. Yeah, I've been hearing a bunch of stuff like we don't actually know what's going to happen. All we know so far is that there was an attack, and it's looking like a terrorist attack due to everything that's written all over it. And a lot of people are concerned on what could take place moving forward in this country, leading up to the inauguration or any other crowd gathered places. So yeah, I would just be aware. Make sure you guys keep your head on a swivel and stay prepped. Make sure you keep your EDC on you. Make sure you keep medical on standby, and make sure you know how to use it if ever need be. 1 second, guys. How many days of food and water do you keep ready? I think at a minimum, everyone should have at least 3 to 6 months, but I would gear to a higher level. You should always try to get 6 months to a year, but it depends on your space and how much you could store. Exactly, Tracy. Don't fear, but be cautious. Make sure you're prepared and pay attention to your surroundings. Best way to say it. Yeah, see, one of my buddies just messaged me on the text. Well, that should be good, man. I mean, if you live in the U.S., I would still keep your head on a swivel. If you're outside the U.S., I mean, regardless of where I would be, I would still be practicing preparedness. But especially, we seem like we're a big target to the world right now, and there's a lot of people who don't like what's going on and want to send a message to the U.S. So I would just be made aware and make sure you're paying attention to the credible threats. One second, guys. I'll be right back. All right, guys. I've returned. Thank you for moderating, Linda. Appreciate you replying to the comments and stuff like that. 1 second. He said, "Mailman gonna think he came to the wrong house." I'm dead. No. But yeah, guys. What would I do against a group of other survivors from my stash? Make sure you have your own group. Make sure you have a community. Make sure you're not exposing you and your group to other people. Make sure you guys are being aware of your footprint and not being in the way. I'm doing good, man. A little tired from doing some cardio last night. I did some hill sprints and some long runs, but I'm pretty good. Man. Hold on. I'm going to go check out. I'm going to see this live real quick. I'm going to check it out from this other phone. Tracy, I'm not aware of what that is, man. Yes, I definitely would recommend you guys prepare for a potential EMP attack, though I don't think that's one of our most credible threats as of right now. I don't think it's very likely in potential, but anything is possible. So yes, you guys should prepare for an EMP if possible, if you have the capability and budget to do so. Who and why are they angry? I mean, the U.S. has been hated for a long time. People hate you just because you're American. A lot of people from other countries. So there's been a lot of stuff about terrorist warnings from terrorist groups and sleeper cells. So that's basically what's going on right now and what you should be notified about. If you watch Sean Ryan's podcast, wow, I just dropped that phone. If you watch Sean Ryan's podcast with Sarah Adams, she recently talked about the threats that were given by terrorist organizations, given warnings from potential sleeper cells. Yeah, I mean, Faraday caging your whole property and all of your vehicles can be difficult, but there's definitely ways to approach it. What I would start with is securing small preps for Faraday bags and EMP protection, like get up like this. Usually I keep this backup cell phone in a Faraday bag. Keep stuff like backup cell phones in a Faraday. Keep backup radios, power banks, solar generators, things like that. There's a lot of things you could have in your Faraday bag and EMP protection kits. Some people say foil works. I would not recommend using foil. What you can use, I've seen work, is double Mylar bags. So if you use Mylar bags and you double layer them, those can work. But what I recommend is something like a quality Faraday bag. I got one right here. I'll show you guys. So right here, this is one of the this is a really good Faraday bag right here, guys. This is by the company Silent Company. They make this. This is a good Faraday bag. This is the material it's made out of right here. So this protects from EMF, EMP, solar flares, and it blocks all signals. So your GPS can't be tracked. You can't receive phone calls or anything like that. Will an ammo can work? I've seen people make ammo cans that could work as them, but I wouldn't recommend them. You're all depending on how you build that yourself. Yeah, this one right here is this one's a Faraday dry bag, so it acts as a Faraday bag and a dry bag as well. So you can put your stuff in here; it'll stay dry. And if you wanted to use this as like a camping bag or to put some stuff in here, it's good because your electronics, you don't want them to get wet. So if they're in the elements, you don't got to worry about it getting damaged in that bag. He said there's no one to call after the nuke. I mean, you could be right or wrong. That's kind of a pessimistic view on it, but I would still definitely keep your preps in order, man. Linda, yes, I have heard about the fog. Um, I think I did hear something slightly about the chemical. I don't know if you meant smile or smell, but yeah, I've heard about the fog. I definitely have. I don't know what it has to do with, and necessarily what it may be a cause of, but I have heard a lot of people talking about some mysterious fog. Yeah, I got some other preps, not other preps. I got some other dry bags that I keep in my bug out bag that are part of my preps. So I got another dry bag that is not an EMP bag, but it's just a cheaper dry bag that I use specifically for keeping dry clothes in my bug out bag. Have a backup change of socks, boxers, shirts, stuff like that. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Melody. I mean, I've heard a lot of people. There was preppers that were talking about that. That's their whole plan of survival is to get on a boat and go out and live on the water. If you have enough supplies on there and stored enough stuff to keep you secured and sustained, then that's not a bad idea. Just make sure you have thought it out and you have enough stuff to sustain yourself without coming back to land while the situation is bad. Yeah, that's why like I've heard stuff about the fog, but I'm not really feeding into it because you gotta take everything with a grain of salt. Only reason I'm paying attention to these recent attacks because they actually happened. There's actual footage of it. There's people whose lives were lost. This is actually something that has taken place. Um, but yeah, yeah, the fog smelled like chemicals. He said, "I heard there's a bunch of killer pirates in the fog." Isn't that a movie, man? I'm pretty sure that was like a movie called The Fog or something like that. But yeah, no, essentially what we're talking about, guys, is preparedness for the everyday citizen. I'm trying to help gear people into being more of a prepared citizen rather than a liability. I want to help you be more of an asset to yourselves and your community by learning skills such as medical, water procurement, gardening, bushcraft survival skills, things like that, ways to start a fire with minimal equipment. Yeah, it can be. Um, would satellite communication be gone in an EMP event? It's been speculated. It can shut out certain satellite communication, but I don't think all of it will be gone. I think there will still be certain available communications, but it's still good just to have backup resources on ground. Make sure if you guys have a backup phone, you could download offline maps, have your own offline GPS, so you could wrap your own areas and ways to go without having the internet. Just make sure you have power stored in the bag. Make sure you have solar generators, solar battery banks, backup battery banks with chargers to go with whatever you need it for. Make sure you store a lot of flashlights as well. Yeah, you guys, that's definitely another good thing to learn. There's a lot of books on that. You guys could buy books that teach you about foraging and edible plants, medicinal plants, things like that. There's a lot of stuff you could buy on Amazon and things to learn about that, or you could just download PDFs on your phone. But yeah, that's definitely something that you guys should learn. No, I'm not military, man. I'm not even military. So no, you're right. I'm not active. Um, But yeah, guys, if you guys aren't made aware, if you're new to the live, wherever you found my live, if you guys just got recommended it, what we're talking about here is the sleeper cells that have recently been activated within our country. If you're not made aware, there's recently been attacks that have taken place, one in New Orleans and one in front of the Trump Tower. There was an explosion. Someone blew up a Tesla truck, and then someone also drove a truck through a crowd of people in front of police officers waving a ISIS flag. He then proceeded to get out of his truck and then fire at the officers. After that, they fired upon him, then killing him. But that's what's recently taken place in the events. What we know so far is both guys were ex-military. One of the guys are believed to be working with another group of people, and IEDs were found in his car, but there was no detonator found. So that's why the law enforcement is believing that there was other people working with him, because there was no detonation, but he had IEDs ready to be detonated. Thank you, Tank Corey. None were military. No, they definitely were military, man. So they were sleeper cells. That's what the word is. Yeah, yeah. There was warnings about this. If you guys, there was a warning. A lady who was in the CIA, which you could say was or still is, I believe. Like if you were, they still have access to you. But yeah, basically a CIA analyst that goes by the name Sarah Adams recently did an interview on the Sean Ryan show on a podcast talking about this for about an hour to 2 hours, giving us a warning about a week and a half to 2 weeks exactly before this has taken place. Sarah Adams. Sarah Adams is her name. Nine millimeter is not bad. I mean, it's all your personal preference. My personal preference for my everyday carry round is 9 millimeter because I like the capacity and the effectiveness of the round when you get a proper hollow point round, and it's just very effective for me. I could shoot it really good, and I mean I could shoot a 45 just as easy, but I just don't like it because of capacity reasons and weight and all of that, and bullet design. I just rather 9 millimeter. I appreciate that, Squirrel Sniper. That's some rare advice from a Brit, but I appreciate it. This isn't a flak; it's a plate carrier. But the setup is just I got level 4 plates in here, 5 mags. So I got 3 on the front, 2 on the side, a tourniquet, and a IFAK. And then I got my chest rig that I could throw onto this if I need to work with more sustainment for long term. Yeah, that is a good idea, Dixieland. Like Dixieland just said, guys, the crossbow is very effective. Crossbows are really powerful and are very lethal, and they're quiet. So if you guys don't have a firearm or you can't legally own one, get a crossbow. That's definitely a good idea. Get a crossbow, and a crossbow is also quieter than a firearm, but almost just as deadly. I would show my weapon setup, but I unfortunately can't show that on YouTube. I can't show that on YouTube live, but I could show my weapon setup on on a YouTube video. I recently did a YouTube video talking about a gun rant of gun snobs on my. If you guys check out my content in my last 2 videos, you'll see I show 2 of my rifles in there, and one of them are my main setups. I showed an AR and an AK in that. video, so you guys can check that out if you want. No, man, I don't have a Glock 18. I wouldn't want one either. Fully automatic handguns are useless in my opinion. Yeah, yeah. That's why I keep it slim like this. My pistol side is my right side. Yeah, guys. So yeah, yeah, man. I just try to talk about it. Is it Kevlar? No, these are level 4 plates. So I mean, I don't really want to take them out, but I'll take it out to show you. Actually, no, I'm not gonna take it out. That's doing too much, because then I gotta take it off to put it back in, and then it's gonna be hanging on me all sloppily. A sleeper cell is basically somebody who's part of an organization who was sent behind enemy lines to achieve a certain objective, whether that be to destabilize their country or cause massive casualties. Can level 4 plates hold up to high explosive? Level 4 plates will stop fragments from high explosive, but I mean, it's not going to stop the concussion if you're near an explosive. And there's still other parts of your body that are exposed. So if I get, if I'm near an explosive and I get shrapnel coming towards my chest, yeah, the plates are going to stop it, but my arms are still going to get hit. My stomach could still get hit, but it's going to stop stuff from hitting my main internal organs. That's the purpose of it, to not get my lungs and my heart impaled. They're just painted megs, man. I did a little rattle can job on these. If you guys want, I'll do a little video on how to do that. This is like the sponge method, kind of. This is like a sponge method rattle can job, along with like a little, like I added some other stuff to it. And then this one is like a multicam, almost like a little multicam rattle can shit, but it doesn't really look like multicam. It's just a little cheap knockoff with the spray paint. So for handguns, I prefer hollow points. For rifles, I prefer ballistic tips, soft points, or hollow points. It doesn't matter. Just something that's gonna be effective and less penetration than a full metal jacket with rifles. So a homemade claymore will still fuck you up. I mean, yeah, a homemade claymore will fuck anybody up if it works, man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if that's your look on it, man, I wouldn't go with that mindset, because you're gonna run into groups of people who aren't gonna let you get away with that. So yeah. But if you want to go with that mindset, I mean, good luck being a marauder. No, wait, what was the question, Jesse? With level 4 plates, okay, level 4 plates will stop a lot of fast moving projectiles and a lot of heavy, like these are meant to stop up to armor piercing 30-6 black tip, but nobody is really carrying that. I'm not really worried about getting hit with things that big. This is meant to just give you better protection against rifle rounds, essentially. But if you're near an explosion, having plates on you can help you, but it doesn't mean you're going to come out unscathed, because explosions send shrapnel everywhere, and also you're going to get concussed by the shock. So there's a lot of other things that involve an explosion. These are meant to stop bullets, but they will stop frag. Yeah, nah, plates is not a invincibility cheat, if that's what you meant, man. Or I don't know what you meant, if that's not what you meant. But yeah, plates can keep you alive, but they're definitely not gonna. They're not an end all be all to keep you alive. Yeah, you're right. Well, it's you're definitely right. Any of you guys in here? Anybody else in here? A long time subscriber or been subscribed to the channel before this live, or you guys just tuned in? I don't have a battle belt setup currently. I went the chest rig route instead, because I want to get a battle belt, but I don't prefer to use them. I don't think they're bad to have, but I like chest rigs more because I could put more sustainment. Yeah, they do. They do make plated helmets, but those aren't really practical. Those are really heavy. It's going to put a lot of strain on your neck, and they're not really as protective as they say they are. I mean, if it stops the bullet, but you still get your skull caved in, then what's the use? You know. Appreciate you, Rick Martins. Appreciate you. I'm glad you're enjoying the content so far. Yeah, Dixie, that would be a great currency. Silver, gold, having backup currencies in case of the dollar collapsing or a long-term SHTF scenario is definitely good to have. Those are more extended case events. It could definitely be useful, and it could just be useful to preserve your own finance while the economy is in a shitty situation. But other ways to have like a currency after a SHTF scenario is to secure barter items, such as backup radios that you could give away, extra water filters, salt, um, things like that. Or you could even barter your skills. If someone needs something and they're a close friend, you could be useful to them and they might be able to offer you something in exchange. Yeah, meds, bullets, food, ammo. I mean, I wouldn't barter ammo. Some people say to barter ammo. Ammo is like one of my non-barter items. So when like if I ever make a video, or I have made videos about this, like when I'll talk about non-barter items, yeah, I mean, yeah, marijuana could be one of them. That does expire though. Things like that, alcohol, marijuana, cigarettes, um, alcohol and tobacco is definitely something that a lot of people are gonna want. But yeah, basically you want to be somebody who could offer a skill that you could get goods for, or have enough supplies that you could exchange that to somebody for their skill or another whatever goods they have that you want to exchange it for. There's a lot of other ways you could look into bartering and stuff like that, but all I would recommend is you never barter ammo. Don't store ammo for barter. Make sure you stock up ammo for you and yours, and have ways to keep that on standby if in case anything ever happens. All right, guys. We've been live about an hour and 10 minutes here, so I'm probably gonna end this live soon. I think I got the message across though. I'm pretty sure I notified a bunch of you guys. I notified at least 50 to 100 more people, so I feel good about that. I'm gonna get on to work into some more content, but I appreciate you guys for joining and tuning in, and thank you for modifying, not modify. Thank you for being the moderator, Linda, and being on here and commenting and replying. But I'll have more videos like this coming out later on today and later this week involving prepping and things alike. Um, if you guys want to subscribe and join in on the content, I'll see you guys in a little bit. But I'm going to go work on some of that and notify some more people. So it's FB and I'm out.